What's up guys, it's your boy Gob, and today we're back with another top 10 hidden gems on PC for 2023. Now the last time I did this was in 2022, but this year we had a lot of bangers, and some of these games aren't even from this year. They're just games that have gone unnoticed and I didn't include them on my last list. And for clarity's sake, all these games were chosen based on having less than 50,000 reviews on their Steam page. So without further ado, let's get into it. So at number 10, we have Forever Skies. This game is unique in its way of survival. So instead of being on land and trying to survive off of berries and, breaking down trees and stuff, here you're in an airship and you're shooting metallic objects in the sky to get, metal, and you're avoiding toxicity and these weird flies and all the hazards around you. So yeah, you also have to manage your hunger and thirst. So the story here is that you're a scientist and you have a futuristic airship and you're in a post-apocalyptic world, obviously. Now the only way to get under the dust is to actually take these elevators that bring you down to the surface, so you can go down there, but you can't take your airship. My favorite part about this game is just building your airship up and making it stronger. It is, if you like survival games, this is the game for you this year. I definitely recommend it. Now at number 9, we got Dredge. This game is horrifying. Now you play as a fisherman in a weird Lovecraftian world where these monsters live underwater, but they don't show up until the night. And you can find fish that are actually corrupted and look all terrifying. You got quests, you got people to meet, you can upgrade your ship and get better engines, get better hooks, and it's just so fun. Now I know you guys are thinking, this looks cute, this looks relaxing and adorable, but trust me, if you have thalassophobia, do not go near this game. And I have thalassophobia, so to be honest with y'all, I couldn't get that far, but from what I've played, it's an amazing game. My fear stops me from enjoying it. Now, if you're the type of person who loves horror games, this is most definitely the game for you, because it did a number on me, guys. At number 8, we got Blasphemous II. Now, this game is just all kinds of wonderful. It's basically a side-scroller Castlevania Dark Souls hybrid, and if you like those kind of games, this is definitely the game for you. I mean, you got great weapons, awesome bosses, good upgrades, and just such a cool, you even have this little ability page that lets you put statues, and if you put them next to statues that match each other, basically have a good vibe with each other, they'll give you an extra bonus. And that is so cool to me. It's like little special things they added to the game, and it reminds me a lot of Bloodborne, because a lot of these NPCs are very, very gothic Bloodborne-y, you know what I mean? Now in my opinion, the best part of this game is the bosses. They just look so cool and they use the best weapons. Like this dude's using the wheel from Bloodborne. If that's not dope, I don't know what is. But if you like side scrollers, this is for you. Next up at 7, we got Tunguska The Visitation, which is basically Stalker in an isometric view. Now, instead of choosing a faction here, you choose what your profession was before you came to the zone. And you have about 12 skills or abilities that you can level up, and they're all super cool. And the best part about it, though, is just playing a Stalker game in an isometric view where you can actually control your character directly instead of point and click. I totally prefer that, and it's so unique, and it's still immersive. Even in when a game manages to be immersive in an isometric view, it's doing something right. It reminds me a lot of Stalker mixed with Project Zomboid, to be honest. I mean, you kind of have all the cool stuff from both. So if you're into, Stalker, then this is definitely a game you should try out. But it is in early access, so that's a warning for y'all. Next game on our list is Exanima. This game is very special. It has a really unique combat system, and it's basically a dungeon crawler with RPG elements. What you do is you just climb down these different levels, solve these different puzzles, fight different monsters, and progress through the game. It has as I said, the combat system is very unique. So your dude, as you can see, he walks like a baby when you're in a combat mode, and he will automatically block, so you don't have to block. But the cool thing about it is you can give him, for example, skills that let him cover his vital parts if they ever try to attack it underneath his armor where his armor doesn't cover. You get funny moments like this where your dude will trip over and fall, and it's all around just a fun game. And if you like isometric games or dungeon crawlers, then I think you'll definitely enjoy this. It's still in early access from what I know, but it's so fun. And yeah, give it a try. Next on our list at number 5, we have The Bloodline. Now this game is in early access, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think this was made by one guy. So the amount of effort he put into it must have been insane, because it has more animations than any Bethesda game I've ever seen for its abilities. You can do so many things, from grappling onto whatever you want to, climbing up walls in a Breath of the Wild fashion. Every skill you get, it feels like you just learned something new that is amazing to watch. It has the visuals to reciprocate what you want your ability to feel like. Like, look at that feels amazing when you do it. And the game is just all around fun. It's like a constrictive open world, kind of like a warband Bannerlord fashion, where you walk from different zones on a map hub, and then you go in, and then it's like an open world zone. But yeah, it's on Steam. You can give it a purchase if you want it. It's fun. At number 4, we have Blood West. Now this game to me feels like a stalker game in the Midwest, and stealth is a big component in this game. You basically walk around a map where these totems tell you to find these different items that they need to cure the curse. So you run around these maps and you find those items, but at the same time you can find artifacts that really alter your character in terms of abilities and stuff. And the fighting in this game just feels really good. The stealth is amazing, and the world is beautiful if you like these kind of like Midwestern atmospheres. The weapons are really cool too that you can get. A high variety of weapons, high variety of enemies. It just came out too. It's a new game, so you guys really should be checking it out because it's super fun, and I'd highly recommend it if you like stalker games or stealth games. So we were actually supposed to have a different game at number 3, but We Who Are About to Die also qualifies to be one of the top 10. It was going to be Mind Over Magic, but that game was giving me a lot of issues, so I wasn't able to record any footage or play it. But this game is also just as good. From what I know, it's also made by one person, and it's so fun. It's a roguelite gladiator game. Reminds me of a game I used to play on PS2. I don't remember it, but it was really good, and you would basically play as a gladiator as well. You have these different skolos, or I don't know what they're called, but like these different hosts that host the fights, and kind of like, you know, the people who enslaved you basically. And you can choose to like better your reputation with them based on like which arenas you fight in and stuff like that, and it's really cool. You can also you have a really cool equipment system, so give it a try if you like fighting games or, you know, career building games. It's amazing. Now, you know, it wouldn't be a top 10 list for me if we didn't have a Souls-like, and at number 2 we have Thyia, and it's one of my favorite games that I didn't know about for the longest time, and it's so fun. If you like Souls-likes like I do, which I'm obsessed with them, then you will love this. It's phenomenal. It has phenomenal like combat. It has unique systems. Like, you have this claw, and if you dig it into them, it basically gives you their weapon for one hit. So you get to use their weapon as an ability basically, and that is such a cool concept. And eventually, if you get enough shards of theirs, you can actually make your own ability of theirs. So if you look at the bottom right, I have an empty space, but the one on the left, that's an ability one. So the guy with the hammer, I learned his move. So now whenever I build up my energy, kind of like mana, I can use it permanently instead of having to do it with the claw. And I highly recommend this for any Souls-like lovers. Alright guys, time for the definitive numero uno, and that is Shadows of Doubt. It is made by some of the developers from Deus Ex, and if you like detective games or open world immersive games, this is 100% gonna be your number 1 game pick. and you play as a detective who walks around, you know, figuring out murders. Everything's procedurally generated. You can find people's stolen stuff. People will be cheating on their wives and such, and you got to find them. So you got to break into people's homes. You can climb through vents. You can hide under beds. You can hide in closets. You can beat people up. You have to eat. You have to sleep. You have to drink. Well, you don't have to sleep, but you have to drink. You could sleep though if you want to pass time. You can go to the bar and order food. There's so many things to do in this game, so don't let its looks fool you. I know it looks Robloxy, but the amount of freedom you have in this game is insane. And you have this little like whiteboard where you can put threads and connect things to each other, and it makes you feel like a real detective or a real investigator. And that's the beauty of it, is it puts you in the shoes of a detective. And not to mention that the rain effects in this game crap on some of AAA titles with the immersiveness of it. Like you hear the raindrops hit the glass. You can sit inside and like feel cozy and warm. You can go outside and you'll actually get wet, and once you get the wet condition, you'll slip on the ground and you can fall. Like, they really took every survival mechanic into consideration in this game and just decided to boost the immersiveness to 100. If you like just immersive open worlds, or you know, games where you just go around detecting stuff as a detective, then you'll love this. Game of the year in my opinion. But yeah, if you like this, feel free to, you know, subscribe, follow. Given that I'm a new YouTuber, I've just been really posting YouTube videos like once a year. You guys can give me advice, and please feel free to let me know what I'm doing wrong or what I could do better. Anyways, happy holidays everyone, and I hope to see you in my next video.